What's up, people? Welcome to my tutorial once again today. How are you all doing and how is life treating everyone? I hope you are keeping fit. I hope you are doing very well. How's your business? How's your establishment? Today we are going to be doing something that has been highly requested for a very long time actually. It's an off-shoulder free gown with rope at the waist here. Not this kind of rope anyway, the one that is passed inside. Okay, it's been requested for a long time. I'm sorry, I am putting it up now. I have here 2 yards and 10 inches of this very light satin fabric. We're going to be needing it for today's tutorial. Okay, and the measurement we'll be needing for today is the length of the gown starting from here down to the desired length. Okay, and then the half length also from here down to a little bit below the underbust. That's where the rope is going to be inserted. Okay, I hope you understand. And then the bust measurement, not the fitted bust measurement. Okay, bust measurement with enough ease. Right, thank you for subscribing. I will never forget to say that. Thank you for being here, and if you are new, feel free to subscribe, and when you do that, also tap on the notification bell. Okay, so let's quickly get started. All right, so having laid it neatly on the table, because of the nature of this fabric, I had to use pin to hold it. I hope you can see the pins so that it doesn't move, because the fabric is very slimy. First, I'll place my shoulder measurement. I removed 1 inch from this upper part. We'll come to the reason later. Okay, my shoulder is 16 inches. That is 8, which is here. But remember, this is an off shoulder. Okay, now having marked my shoulder, this is my shoulder, and since this is an off shoulder, I hope you remember, I removed this 1 inch because I'll be using it to join the shoulder at the end of the day. That's why I removed this 1 inch here. Okay, now my armhole measurement, I'll use 4 inches. So this is 4 inches. I started my measurement from this line. I did not include this 1 inch. Okay, now this second line we have here is, let's call it my half length. Remember I said after you take the length of your dress, the next measurement should be from this place, from your chest line to a little bit below your underbust, where we're going to be placing the rope. I hope you remember. So that's what we have here. Okay, mine is 10 inches and we have here 10 inches. Okay, now my bust measurement is 14 inches. Okay, this is not my actual bust measurement. Okay, I added about 9 inches to my actual bust measurement. Okay, so now what I will do first is to connect this my shoulder to my actual bust measurement this way. I hope you get this. Okay, and then I'll continue with this my bust measurement down to this place. Now it is optional, if you like you can expand yours, okay, because at the end of the day the rope is going to give it a shape. So it doesn't matter if yours comes this way, it does not matter. At the end of the day, when we attach the rope here, it's going to fit the dress perfectly. But if you also like, you can continue with your bust measurement, or you can continue with your own waist measurement, okay. But just note that you are not placing your exact waist measurement here. You have to add plenty of ease to it, so that when you use the rope, it will have visible gathers that will add beauty at the waistline area, okay. So like I said, if you like you can continue with your bust measurement, 14 inches. If you like you can have an upward line, it doesn't matter, okay. And then just take the measurement down the hemline, but as you go you keep expanding the line so that it does not have a straight effect. I hope you understand. As you go you keep expanding the line, okay, so that at the end of the day, at the lower part, it will look as if it's an A line, but it's not an A line, okay. Now back to this shoulder, because we are going to be placing, back to this chest line, sorry, because we are going to be putting a strip to connect the front dress and the back dress, we'll have to adjust this our actual shoulder, because if we put it here, it means the strip is going to be here, just here, which is not good. It has to go inside a little bit, okay. So it means I will just take away 1.5 inches or even 2, okay. And you still continue to make the connection. I hope you understand this, okay. So what I will do now is to cut from here, to this point. I'll move this way down to the hemline. Now, having done the cutting, if you like your chest line to be straight, you leave it this way. But if you don't want it straight, you can just add a slight curve to it. So that it doesn't have to appear straight. Okay. Now when I cut and open it up, this is what we have. You see the neck is no longer straight. It's now a little bit curvy. This is where we are placing the hand, okay. And then you see this line, that is our 10 inches, okay. You open your own up when you cut it and make your own line visible so that it will serve as a guide. The line should be both on the front and the back piece, okay. So when you get this done, the first thing you are going to do is to just join one side first of all. Just join. Remember here we can say that there is no measurement at this bust area, okay. So you just join your two fabrics at one end first of all, I hope you understand that. And when you do that, you now go over to attaching the rope. Okay, so that when you, if you join it at one side, you can comfortably now open it up to have a straight line like this running from the back to the front, where you can now attach the cover of where your rope is going to pass through. So here I have a strip cut out like a bias. This is about 2 inches. I hope you see it. All I did was to iron both sides so that it's easy for me to attach it. Okay, so what do I have in mind doing this? This is what I have in mind. So where we are going to be attaching our rope, I'll be attaching this one first, this way. I hope you get it. Okay, so I'll open it up at one side, sew it, and then close it up, sew it on top. I hope you understand the idea now. All right, I'm going to cut this too, since this is short. Okay, so that one will be for one, the other one will be for the other side. And then at the center where the rope is going to formally come out, I'll make sure I finish the edge very well so that there is no roughness. Okay, I'll go to the machine now. Like I said, join them at the sides. We want to finish this rope side first before we talk about the sleeve. Now I've attached the first part. The second will be to just turn it over this way and then sew on top of it carefully, because this fabric is very, very funny. Carefully, I will now sew on top of it. Okay, now before you do that, you will have to join the other side. Okay, you see I left space for the joining, so I have to join the other side to make sure I close these 2 ropes up very, very well. That's just the essence. If not, I would have just continued this way. I've attached it. I hope you can see it. When I press it, you will see how neat it is. Okay, and then this is the center. You see here is open, this other side too is open. That's for the rope. Now go ahead and cut a strip that can pass through this space. Okay, and this is what I have. I'll fold it this way, just like your bias, this way. Okay, just so that it becomes tiny enough to pass through here. Okay, and then I'll use my needle to pass it through this space made for it. So you should have something like this when you are done with it, so that the rope can freely move. I hope you see it. This is one method. Another method will be for you to give your dress a half cut, then you put the rope and then you continue with the length of the other fabric. That is, at this 10 inches you cut it. Okay, you already have this built separately. This casing for this rope, you have it built separately, so you now attach it at the upper part and also at the lower part. Okay, these are the 2 methods. Right, so next will be to attach the, should I call it sleeve, to attach the strip at the shoulder. I've done something similar to this kind of upper part before. So I'll be using 11 inches when on fold. No, sorry, 5.5 inches when on fold, 11 inches when I open it up, and then I'll put a seam allowance of about 1 inch. So instead of 11, I have 12 inches. All right. So this is for the two sides. I'll go to the machine, sew it, turn it inside out and iron it properly, and then attach it here. I will then attach it at this neckline, say half inches away from this cut, half inch this way and half inch this way. I hope you get it. So I'm attaching this way. I hope you understand. And also this other side. This is now the seam allowance. When I attach it, I will now use my bias to close up this roughness inside out. This time around, the stitch is going to show on the right side, as against that earlier tutorial I made with this similar neck and shoulder. Okay, now you see the neck. Like I said, I was going to use bias to knitting it. Okay, to be attached to this is the sleeve. Okay, and I have here these pieces of fabric cut out as the sleeve. So the first thing to do will be to replicate this slanting at the side, at this side also. This is what I mean. So I'll cut this one off first of all. Okay, so now we have the armhole curve of the same volume. And then for the volume of the falling sleeve, it is up to you, anyhow you want it. I'll take my own down to as deep as possible. This fabric is very, very, very slippery. But I hope you understand what I'm doing. I left here about half an inch. That's the seam allowance for the joining of the sleeve to the body of the dress. Okay. So now I'll use my bias also to tape this place before I now close it at the two sides and then attach it to the body of the dress. Now that I've attached the sleeve, this is what we have. Okay. Now you see, I did not measure the depth of this curve of this cold sleeve. I didn't measure it. You can go as deep as you desire. Okay, what I used may not be what you used. All right, You can even extend it more than I did my own. Okay, so we'll go ahead now and try it on. So this is the result. Like I said, if you don't want to use this method of this rope, you can apply a half cut here where the rope and the casing is now separate. You attach to the upper and to the lower part. All of them will still come down to the same result. Thank you for watching till the end. If you are yet to subscribe, please do so before leaving, and also tap on the notification bell. Okay, take very good care of yourself and don't ever forget being nice to other people. Bye.